Hello, welcome back to the Buchla Easel tutorial series. Today we're dealing with the right-hand page. This is basically a sequencer, a 32-step sequencer, but it's got a few features in it that are a little bit quirky, so let's have a look at them. Okay, down the left-hand side you can see, hopefully, a pretty crude keyboard. It starts at C, and then we've got two black keys that represent C sharp, D sharp, and then here's your F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, etc, etc. If I left click anywhere in this page, I'm going to create notes. If I right click, I'm going to delete them. If I've created a note, I can pick it up from the end and make it longer, or I can pick it up from the front and change its length that way as well. Right click, delete it. So let's create a simple pattern and get up and running as quickly as we can. Let's do some C, E's, and let's have some G's. Do we want to, let's have a B flat in there. And I'll just kind of randomly click some stuff. I clicked in the wrong place for this one. I wanted to make a G. So pick it up, drag it down. I have two of them over there and then one of them at the end. And now I'm going to, so I've just set an envelope up, simple as you like. Let's see what happens when I press a key. So if the module's on, it's running. So this is applying modulation to the pitch of each of the oscillators. In once mode, basically it will run for as long as a key is held down. It'll always start at the beginning of the sequence, and if I let go, it'll stop immediately. If I hold the key down, when the sequence gets to the end, it'll wrap around and play multiple times, and then stop as soon as I let go. In loop mode, that's now going to carry on doing its thing. When I press a new key, I'll interrupt the sequence and start it from the beginning again. And in run mode, it will just completely run freely, and any key that I play is just going to basically change the modulation level of all of the notes. So it's adding these multiple control voltages together. They're all funneling together into the oscillator and resulting in one final output pitch. Make a couple of these notes a little bit different. So you can't hear any gap between these two notes. But you see over on the right hand side, we have a gate length. If I drop this gate length right down to a minimum, let's see what that sounds like now. So now that the length of each of the notes has been like arbitrarily truncated, then we're not hearing the full length of the note. We're hearing it twice as long as the note after it, but still not the full length of the period of time that we had initially instructed it to play for. I bring this length back up a little bit. You see all of the small notes in the halo around the outside? They're all playing for exactly the same length of time, and we can't do anything about that. This sequencer is fundamentally quantized to set static shapes. But we can introduce a randomness to the length, and that will help us to alleviate some of that consistency. And now all of those short notes are playing for slightly different lengths of time. Here's our overall speed. Well, that's not all. At the bottom, we've got this grid that says preset voltage memories. If I basically click in it, you get this little up down arrow. I'm going to click in it and drag up, and we can go 1, 2, 3, 4 back down to 1. What this lets us do is specify points in the sequence when we're going to apply yet another control voltage modulation to the pitch, and they're going to come from the preset voltage sources. Now, at the moment it just happens to be set to number 3, but all of them are turned off, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is tune these preset voltage sources to be a perfect 5th and a perfect 4th intervals apart from each other. So if we start, I'll just turn the oscillator up. There's the C, there's my root C. Now I want this voltage source to be G. And this one a C, C3. Now let's get the sequence going again, see what that sounds like. So for the length of these 3 notes, the preset source is switching to preset 2, which is increasing the pitch of each of those notes by 7 semitones. And then we move to preset 3, where we're going up a full octave up to the C3. So using your preset voltages, even if you just had the 2 octave span that you've got on the keyboard, you could theoretically make an 8 octave sequence. This white curtain over here allows us to change the length of the sequence. If I truncate it, it looks like it's deleted those notes, but it hasn't. It's just muted them. Pull the curtain back and they're still there. And that's it. Pretty crude functionality, but that doesn't mean to say it's not really usable. This is a great little tool. When we do the preset deep dives, we'll see some of the sequences being layered on top of all the features of the synth for really cool effects. Hope you found the video useful. If you did, please consider subscribing, hit notifications, make sure not to miss the next episode. Hope to see you then. Thanks a lot.